The early 2000s marked the zenith of nu metal, a genre characterized by its fusion of metal, hip-hop, and angst-ridden lyricism. Bands like Korn, Limp Bizkit, and Linkin Park dominated the charts, their music soundtracks to a generation grappling with suburban disillusionment. By 2007, however, the genre's momentum had waned, and one album, Linkin Park's Minutes to Midnight, symbolized its decline. Produced by Rick Rubin, the legendary architect of reinvention, the album abandoned the rap-rock formula that made Linkin Park icons, opting instead for experimental rock and introspective themes. Though commercially successful, Minutes to Midnight polarized fans and critics, dismissed by some as a betrayal of the band's roots. Yet, over time, it has emerged as an underrated masterpiece and a bold creative leap, showcasing Linkin Park's evolution from nu metal pioneers to genre-defying innovators. Nu metal emerged in the late 90s as a raw, visceral response to grunge's decline. With down-tuned guitars, DJ scratches, and cathartic vocals, bands like Deftones, Slipknot, and Linkin Park gave voice to teenage alienation. Linkin Park's 2000 debut, Hybrid Theory, became a cultural phenomenon, selling 30 million copies worldwide. Tracks like In the End and Crawling blended Chester Bennington's soaring melodies with Mike Shinoda's raps, creating a blueprint for the genre. Their follow-up, Meteora 2003, doubled down on this formula, cementing their status as nu metal's torchbearers. But by the mid-2000s, nu metal faced backlash. Critics derided it as repetitive and overly commercialized, while bands began experimenting with new sounds. The genre's decline mirrored Linkin Park's own restlessness. "We didn't want to make Hybrid Theory 3, Shinoda later admitted. Enter Rick Rubin, the producer famed for revitalizing careers, Johnny Cash, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and pushing artists beyond their comfort zones. Rubin's philosophy, strip music to its essence, clashed with Linkin Park's layered, electronic-heavy sound. Yet his influence was transformative. Rubin encouraged the band to write acoustically, focusing on songcraft over studio effects. He challenged us to think about what a song could be without relying on production tricks," said guitarist Brad Delson. This approach led to a seismic shift. Gone were the rap verses and turntable flourishes. In their place were piano ballads, political anthems, and alt-rock textures. The band recorded over 100 demos, whittling them down to 12 tracks that span post-grunge, orchestral rock, and even folk. Rubin's role was less about dictating direction and more about fostering experimentation. "He created a space where we felt safe to fail," said Bennington. The result was an album that defied categorization and alienated fans expecting another Meteora. Wake, Given Up. The album opens with a haunting instrumental prelude, segueing into Given Up, a punk-infused rant with Bennington's iconic 17-second scream. While aggressive, the track lacks the rap metal interplay of earlier hits. Leave out All the Rest, a soaring ballad with U2's guitars. It showcased Bennington's vulnerability, a departure from his angsty persona. Bleed It Out, the closest link to their past. This raucous track features Shinoda's raps but trades turntables for stomping percussion. Shadow of the Day, a melancholic anthem reminiscent of the Police. Its political undertones, I close both locks below the window / I close both blinds and turn away, hinted at broader lyrical ambitions. What I've Done, the lead single, driven by a piano riff and environmental themes, became a global hit but drew ire for its mainstream sound. Tracks like Hands Held High, a gospel-tinged critique of the Iraq War, and The Little Things Give You Away, a 7-minute epic with slide guitar, underscored the band's newfound maturity. While nu metal's DNA lingered in moments of aggression, Minutes to Midnight prioritized melody and message over mosh pit energy. The album debuted at #1 in 15 countries, selling 600,000 copies in its first week. Critics praised its ambition. Rolling Stone called it their most adventurous work, but fans were divided. Online forums erupted with accusations of selling out, while purists lamented the absence of Shinoda's raps. Yet this backlash obscured the album's nuances. Tracks like In Between, a Shinoda-sung reflection on estrangement, and Valentine's Day, a haunting acoustic piece, revealed a band unshackling itself from genre constraints. While not flawless, the political lyrics occasionally veered into vagueness. Minutes to Midnight demonstrated artistic growth few nu metal acts attempted. Linkin Park's pivot mirrored the genre's disintegration. By 2007, nu metal's giants had splintered. Limp Bizkit faded into irrelevance. Korn explored industrial rock, and Slipknot embraced avant-garde metal. Minutes to Midnight's success proved that audiences craved evolution, not nostalgia. As other bands scrambled to reinvent themselves, the genre's signature sound, once ubiquitous on MTV, retreated to niche status. We didn't set out to kill nu metal, Shinoda reflected. But by refusing to repeat ourselves, we showed that the genre had limits. Indeed, Minutes to Midnight's legacy lies in its courage. In an era of diminishing returns, Linkin Park chose innovation over imitation. In hindsight, Minutes to Midnight is a bridge between Linkin Park's past and future. Its experiments laid groundwork for 8,000 Suns 2010 and Living Things 2012, albums that further blurred genre lines. Tracks like The Catalyst and Burn It Down owe their electronic textures to Minutes' exploratory spirit. The album also resonates thematically. Bennington's struggles with addiction and depression leave out all the rest, and Shinoda's existential musings in between foreshadowed the band's later work, including 2017's One More Light. Tragically, Bennington's death in 2017 cast a new light on these songs, transforming them from radio hits into poignant farewells. Critics, too, have softened their stance. In retrospectives, Minutes to Midnight is hailed as a brave reinvention, its flaws outweighed by its ambition. It's the album where Linkin Park grew up, wrote Kerrang! In 2020. A messy, beautiful, and necessary step forward. Nu metal's demise was inevitable, a victim of shifting tastes and artistic stagnation. Yet Linkin Park's third album did more than hasten its decline. It redefined what a nu metal band could be. By collaborating with Rick Rubin, the group traded safety for uncertainty, crafting an album that prioritized growth over gratification. Minutes to Midnight remains divisive, but its significance is undeniable. It is a testament to reinvention, a reminder that evolution is the price of relevance. For Linkin Park, it was both an ending and a beginning, the closing of one chapter and the start of a journey into uncharted territory. Underrated? Perhaps. Essential? Absolutely.